Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into the fascinating world of post-war American coins, the legendary wheat pennies. Among them, three stand out: the 1945D, 1951S, and 1952D, each carrying the story of a nation rebuilding after World War II. Minted in Denver and San Francisco, these small copper treasures hold secrets of history, value, and rarity that every coin collector must know. Stay tuned, because what looks like an ordinary penny might just be worth far more than you think. As we move forward from this remarkable introduction, let's journey deeper into the story of the 1945D Wheat Penny, a small coin with a legacy far greater than its size, carrying the echoes of a nation rebuilding and the promise of real value hidden in plain sight. The 1945D Lincoln Wheat Penny, a small copper disc that carries the weight of history, patriotism, and incredible collector value. The year was 1945. World War II had just come to an end, and America was entering a new era of hope and rebuilding. Amidst this transition, the Denver Mint struck millions of wheat pennies, each symbolizing the nation's resilience and economic revival. Unlike ordinary coins, the 1945D wheat penny was born from a time when copper itself was considered precious. For years, the metal had been diverted for war use, but by 1945, production finally returned to normal, making this penny one of the first to reintroduce high-quality copper after years of steel shortages. On the obverse, the coin proudly displays the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and leadership. His steady gaze reflects a country recovering from war and ready to move forward with strength and courage. Flip it over, and the reverse side reveals the two wheat stalks, framing the bold words "1 cent," a design that represented prosperity and growth. To millions of Americans, this coin wasn't just money, it was a daily reminder of victory and renewal. Now here, where the story gets exciting. While millions were minted, finding a 1945D wheat penny in pristine condition is an entirely different challenge. Over time, circulation wore most of them down, but those few that survived in near-perfect shape became rare treasures. Collectors today hunt for these survivors with intense passion. The Denver Mint mark, that small D beneath the date, adds to its significance, signaling that it came from one of the most productive and historic U.S. mints of the 20th century. What truly elevates this coin's value, however, is its condition and luster. A standard circulated piece might look ordinary, but a sharply struck, uncirculated 1945D penny with original red shine can command eye-popping prices at auctions. In recent years, top-graded examples, those certified in Mint State Red, MS67 or higher, have stunned the market with values reaching well over $3,000. And when collectors compete for perfection, even a single flawless coin can skyrocket to $5,000 or more under the right circumstances. That's the kind of story that turns a simple 1 cent piece into a dream, find for every treasure hunter and coin enthusiast. Imagine discovering one in an old jar, drawer, or inherited collection, realizing you're holding a piece of post-war history worth thousands of dollars. Every mark, every shade of copper on this coin tells a story of factories roaring back to life, soldiers returning home, and families starting anew. The 1945D wheat penny is more than money. It's a snapshot of America's greatest comeback. Collectors often describe the moment they first hold one in mint state as electric, a rush of admiration for the craftsmanship and legacy sealed within such a small artifact. And remember, demand keeps climbing. As time passes, these coins only grow rarer because fewer remain untouched by circulation or age. That's why now is the perfect time for collectors to hunt, grade, and protect them. The thrill isn't just in owning the coin, it's in knowing you've preserved a living piece of American history. Each one represents resilience, faith, and the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint at the peak of precision. Even after nearly 80 years, the 1945 Wheat penny continues to shine in auctions, in collections, and in the stories of those lucky enough to find one in remarkable condition. So yes, it is valuable, incredibly valuable, not just in dollars, but in the timeless narrative it carries from the end of war to the dawn of peace. For coin collectors, it's a symbol of perseverance and reward, proof that small things often hold the greatest worth. So keep your eyes open. Check your jars, your drawers, your inherited coin boxes, because the next great discovery could be sitting right in your hands. And when you find that glowing 1945 Wheat penny in all its copper brilliance, remember, this isn't just a penny. It's a $5,000 piece of American pride. As we move from the 1945 penny story of recovery and rebirth, we now arrive in 1951, a time when America was charging into a new decade of growth and confidence. And at the heart of that era, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny quietly emerged, another copper masterpiece from the San Francisco Mint that continues to surprise collectors with its value and charm. By 1951, the world had changed dramatically. The scars of war were fading, factories were booming, and prosperity filled American homes. Every cent mattered, and the humble wheat penny remained a symbol of the nation's endurance and strength. The 1951 Wheat penny was struck at a time when craftsmanship and precision were at their finest. The San Francisco Mint, marked by the small s below the date, produced coins with remarkable clarity and consistency, a level of detail that still impresses collectors today. This coin carried the same classic design that Americans had come to love: Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, steady and dignified, reminding everyone of honesty and resilience, values that defined mid-century America. On the reverse, the twin wheat ears still framed the words 1 cent and EPLURIBUSUNUM, symbolizing unity and abundance. Yet there's something about the 1951 edition, a certain glow, a deeper reddish tone of copper, that makes it stand out among the post-war issues. While many of these pennies circulated heavily, those few that survived in uncirculated condition became time capsules of perfection. Under the right light, a mint state red 1951 penny can appear almost golden, with fiery reflections dancing across Lincoln's profile. And here, where the excitement builds the value. Most people overlook this penny, assuming it's ordinary, but the truth is quite the opposite. In high grades, the 1951 Wheat penny can command between $1,000 and $3,500, depending on its luster and strike quality. When you step into the world of professional coin grading, you'll find collectors competing fiercely for examples graded MS-67 or higher, where even the smallest flaw can mean the difference of hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some auction records have pushed this coin's value beyond $4,000, especially when the color and surfaces are pristine, untouched by time or human hands. That's the kind of rarity that turns heads in the numismatic community. But its true worth goes beyond numbers. The 1951 Wheat penny is a symbol of post-war optimism, struck during an age when America believed in progress, industry, and the power of its people. It's a coin that captures the heartbeat of a thriving nation. Collectors today cherish it not just for its beauty, but for the story it tells of a generation that rebuilt, reimagined, and prospered. Each coin, still gleaming in copper red, reflects that unstoppable American spirit. And for those who understand the deeper connection between history and money, the 1951 penny represents opportunity, a small but mighty artifact that continues to rise in both value and admiration. Think about it. This coin once passed through the hands of workers, veterans, and dreamers of the early 1950s, and now, in your hands, it could be worth thousands. That's the power of preservation, passion, and knowledge. The San Francisco Mint's 1951 issue remains one of the finest post-war wheat pennies, loved for its balance of rarity and accessibility. Every collector dreams of finding one that glows with that rich, original copper brilliance. Even today, auction houses and collectors alike recognize its growing demand, because each year, fewer perfect examples remain. As time moves on, the truly exceptional ones become treasures beyond measure. So don't underestimate the 1951 Wheat Penny. Beneath that simple S, mint mark, lies a legacy of craftsmanship, history, and value that continues to inspire and reward those who seek it. Hold one in your hand, and you're not just touching metal, you're touching a story, a symbol, a piece of American pride that has aged into true greatness. Because in the world of coin collecting, the 1951 Wheat Penny proves one thing: greatness doesn't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, it shines in copper worth over $4,000. As we move from the shining legacy of the 1951 Wheat Penny, our journey brings us to one final treasure in this remarkable series: the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that marked the closing chapter of an era and the rise of a new American dream. By 1952, the world was firmly set on a path of prosperity. The war was long behind, industries were booming, and the spirit of progress filled the nation. Yet even in that moment of change, the Denver Mint continued to craft small masterpieces, and the 1952 penny was one of its brightest. This coin carries the timeless design that had already become a national symbol. On one side, Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands as a monument to integrity and leadership, a face that had watched over America's transformation for more than 4 decades. Turn it over, and the two wheat ears once again frame the proud declaration of value: 1 cent. But in the 1952 edition, the design feels different, refined, mature, and perfectly balanced, as if the mint itself knew this chapter of the wheat penny story was reaching its golden peak. The copper composition of this coin holds an unmistakable warmth. Over the years, many have developed a rich, reddish-brown glow, the kind of tone that collectors crave for its natural, untouched beauty. And that brings us to its value, one that continues to rise as collectors realize how few truly pristine examples still exist. While millions were minted, only a small fraction survived in the breathtaking mint state red condition that commands real money. In professional coin markets, a top-graded 1952 wheat penny can reach prices of $2,000 to $4,500, with some exceptional pieces selling for even more. That's right, a 1-cent coin from 1952 now turning heads at auctions and setting records decades later. Its allure isn't just about rarity. It's about what it represents: the last full-strength years of the wheat design before America shifted to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. The 1952 stands as a final burst of artistry before a new generation of coins took over. Every time you hold one, you hold the craftsmanship of the early 1950s, a time when precision, pride, and quality defined the U.S. Mint's work. These coins weren't just struck, they were sculpted with care and purpose. Collectors love to call this penny a quiet achiever, not always in the headlines, but steadily gaining respect, recognition, and value with every passing year. And with copper prices increasing and historical interest growing, its future looks brighter than ever. For those lucky enough to find one in a collection, coin roll, or inherited box, the discovery can be thrilling. That faint D beneath the date is more than a mint mark. It's a signature of excellence from Denver's golden years. The 1952 wheat penny connects us to a moment in time when the nation stood tall, confident, and proud of its progress. Each coin carries that energy, the optimism of the early 50s, frozen forever in copper. As we reach the end of this journey through America's post-war pennies, the 1952 D reminds us why collectors never stop searching. Because sometimes, the smallest pieces of history hold the greatest stories. Its value isn't only measured in dollars, though $4,500 is no small number, but in the story it tells about perseverance, craftsmanship, and legacy. And that's what makes it so powerful. From 1945 to 1952, these wheat pennies have captured a nation's journey from hardship to hope, from struggle to triumph. So if you ever come across a gleaming 1952 D wheat penny, don't overlook it. Treasure it, protect it, and remember what it stands for, a final echo of America's most iconic coinage era. Because the 1952 D wheat penny isn't just the last coin of this story. It's the lasting proof that even the smallest piece of copper can carry the heart of a nation, and a value worth thousands of dollars.